You see, GM designers aren't the only ones trying to make cars that are smaller outside yet bigger inside. That started happening after the 1973 Arab oil embargo. And somewhere during that reawakening, better car engineering took on a life of its own. Just good enough wasn't anymore, and designs began to be stretched to the limits of technology. And that meant higher prices too, of course, and as that happened, the public wanted more car per dollar. Well, the moving target of owner expectations has been rising ever since. And now we have a car that has moved that target up more than just a few more notches. The 5000S. It's the third generation big car from Germany's Audi. And with a base price of $16,500, it's an automobile that encompasses a wide array of advanced technology, but as you'll see in a most demure package. Our tour of this technocar starts with its overall size and shape. The new Audi 5000S with a 105.8-inch wheelbase is only slightly larger outside than its predecessor. Yet the new car has 17% more trunk space and enough interior room to be classified by the government as an intermediate-sized car. Last year's 5000 was in the compact group. In addition, the 5000S is, for the moment, the most aerodynamic four-door made. With a drag coefficient of 0.33, it has 21% less drag than the old model and is even slightly slipperier than the 1984 Corvette. In fact, no styling detail was too small to be overlooked in the quest for proper airflow. The grille slots were angled just right for most efficient engine cooling, and a small front air dam was added to reduce undercar wind resistance. Wheel covers are flat disc with only minimum slots for brake cooling. All window glass is flush with the exterior panels. The glass is fixed to the outward-facing channels with plastic pins rather than sliding up and down inside the door frame. Rear-view mirrors were shaped carefully, and the windshield wipers are shielded by the hood cowl. There's no rain gutter, and the trunk shape is high to give it the desired arrow-like profile. Even the rocker panels and underside components, such as the axle and the fuel tank, were positioned and shaped for as little drag as possible. But the game of improving fuel economy isn't an easy one to win. With all that work, the 5000S still has the same EPA city mileage rating as the old car, 22, and only a 1 mile per gallon gain to 35 for the highway cycle. In our test, we did record 29, good for any 2,900-pound gasoline-powered car. Another more subtle resolution of improved aerodynamics is wind noise. It's reduced to only 67 decibels at 55 miles per hour. A 5% improvement. The sedan will get turbo diesel power and be joined by a station wagon version later in the model year. The basic construction of the 5000S is mostly familiar, an all-steel unibody with front and rear subframes. 35% of the structural steel is zinc-coated for rust protection. The 2.1-liter 5-cylinder power plant is mounted lengthwise for better serviceability. The front wheels are driven through a 5-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic. With the suspension, you get McPherson struts up front, and in the rear, coil springs and trailing arms with a rigid beam axle. The 5000S has an anti-sway bar both fore and aft. On our handling track, the slowish power rack and pinion steering seems well suited to a car that plows lightly through a slalom with only modest body roll. A normal amount of understeer, this is a front-wheel drive car, is present at all speeds and makes the 5000S an extremely comfortable car to maneuver. This big sedan instills the driver with lots of confidence and feels far more agile than its size and mission would normally indicate. But then, that is in the Audi tradition. Brakes, too, are extraordinary in design and performed extremely well. Panic stops from 30 miles per hour were a short 34 feet. Power assist is provided by a hydraulic pump, not by vacuum as in most cars. From 55, the disc drums seem to work in 2 stages. At first touchy, but then requiring a lot of pedal pressure. Yet with distances again averaging a very short 123 feet, there was no pull nor fade. And more importantly, no wheel lockup or rear end swing. Few other front-wheel drive cars brake as securely as the 5000S. Acceleration is deceptive. The car is so quiet, it takes a glance at the speedometer to confirm that you've managed a 0 to 60 time of 11.8 seconds, a better than average performance. Passing from 40 to 55 in third gear was also surprisingly quick, 5 seconds flat. That despite a shift linkage that is vague, notchy, and not up to the advanced design of the rest of the car. The Audi's interior drew a single response from our staff. It is huge, roomy to the extreme, if also stark and functional. The front buckets were great for long trips. The rear bench is wide and well padded. Like the front, it provides gobs of head, leg, and shoulder room for our 6-foot-tall or around testing crew.
Yeah, this is a very big car.
Instrumentation includes only a speedo, tack, fuel, and coolant gauge. A pity. But there's a rather elaborate warning light system that either flashes OK or gives you one of 9 safety reminders. The entire system works like a small slide projector with a single screen and 12 tiny bulbs. Audi is also proud of its new totally automatic climate control system. Despite not having a manual override for fan speed, it kept both the front and rear occupants comfortable at a wide range of outside temperatures. All in all, the Audi 5000S is a very complete car with few options. It has no major flaws. It embraces the latest in automotive technology, but does it in a non-gee-whiz style, suiting both its German origin and its high-tech buyers.